Namaste. Now we have come to the last episode of self-improvement. We have been talking in the earlier 21 parts of self-improvement, how various aspects can add to our excellence, how we can acquire human excellence by practicing not only improvement suggested by others, or improvement which is brought about by outside influences, but by our own effort, by making self-effort. Today, as the end of this, episodes, today's number is 22. I would like to tell you the importance of solitude. To be alone has two meanings and two different words in English, which are loneliness and solitude. On one side, loneliness, that you are alone and you are feeling bad about it. You're not happy to be alone. You are seeking some outside entertainment or some outside company. You are seeking at least a person or a machine to take care of your being alone. That is loneliness. It is a negative concept. But right from the first day of our ancient wisdom, we know that people who wanted to make any kind of progress, especially spiritual progress, would go away from everybody and live alone. They would achieve everything by going to the Himalayas alone. We also had the concept of Vanaprastha Ashram, where you give up everything after you have fulfilled your duties and you retire from the world. This aloneness is what we call solitude. It is a positive quality. It is a beneficial quality, not alone and feeling bad, but alone and enjoying it, alone and benefiting from it. Being alone because you choose to be alone. You are alone not by compulsion. Like the pandemic, I'm giving many examples because we are living in pandemic times. In the pandemic, everybody felt that how can we stay at home? How can we avoid meeting anybody? How can we stay away from company? Because human beings are very social. They like to interact with each other. But when the pandemic is there, that interaction is like committing suicide. You call 20 people to your house, you enjoy one day, and that one day might be the last day for you or your friends. You might catch the virus, which is dangerous. So for the benefit of each other, we are following this, but we are hating it. That is one aspect. Many people are struggling, and if little chance is there, now the numbers are less, they are traveling, they are going everywhere. They are endangering other people's lives also. So what does it show? It shows the negative of being alone. That is, we are struggling, we are suffering because of loneliness. Many people are suffering mental health problems in the pandemic. Why are they suffering mental health problems? Because they realize that they are not happy alone. They require something or someone. Have you seen young children these days when they are together also? Not in pandemic, of course, but other times. They don't like to play. They each one have their, cell phones or their tablets or their video games, and they all sit side by side and they keep playing. They don't interact with each other. So very often we fill our loneliness with machines. We fill it with activity. We fill it with human beings. If we are sitting quietly, we pick up the phone and call somebody. No need to make that phone call. You are just wasting the time, your time and that person's time, because you have nothing important to say. But your loneliness is making you do this. So many activities which are meaningless, many associations which are meaningless, we are doing it because we cannot be alone. That is what needs to be avoided. So all of you who are interested in self-improvement, suppose you are watching these videos and you feel that, yes, I want to improve myself. Whether others tell me or not is immaterial. I feel that I must improve myself. Then what do you require? You require time for yourself. This is called me time. Me, M-E, me time. Time for ourselves. This me time, using it productively, using it properly, not wasting it or not misusing it. This time is what we call solitude. Solitude, being on our own, being alone. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, if you really want to achieve any improvement, any inward growth, then he used three words. I must have repeated them. Mone, bone, kone. This is, of course, Bengali. What does it mean? Mone, in the mind. So where should you spend time? With yourself, in your mind. Bone, in the forest. That means far away from civilization. Civilization is so fragile. It is so false sometimes. We smile when actually we don't feel like smiling. We talk when we feel like keeping quiet. We keep quiet when we actually want to talk. So our lives sometimes are very artificial. So we need to go out from there. We need to go out from there. Therefore, what we require is that we have to be very vigilant. We have to constantly see that unless we are able to spend time, alone, now we needn't go to the forest, but we can make a fortress in our house itself. That is the third word Sri Ramakrishna says. And that is kone. Kone implying in the corner, maybe, in a quiet corner of your house, in a small area where you have restricted for yourself, where you can spend free time, where if you're sitting quietly, others are not disturbing you. This is what it implies to say bone, mone, and kone. These are three examples very important for solitude. Sri Ramakrishna Sri Ramakrishna also gave advice to Holy Mother Sharada Devi. He said, when I'm not there, you go live in Kamar Pukur, in that small room which belongs to us, grow some leafy vegetables, and live quietly on your own. Live in solitude and remember the name of God. Chant the name of God. This is what Holy Mother Sharda Devi did. She didn't have even money to buy salt. So she would just eat a little rice with all those greens. She had nothing else. And she never felt bad because she had the ability to enjoy the solitude. She was charging her spiritual batteries. So when we want to charge our own batteries, that charging is our self-improvement, then what we require is solitude. So we need to now look at our daily routine. How much time do we have for ourselves? Start from the time you wake up in the morning. When we wake up, usually what we do is we do our daily activities, the basic requirements of our life we complete. Then we try to spend time in our other regular routine, like going to school or college or studying in the online mode, going to work, or starting your meetings, etc. All these things are very important for us because that is what life is all about, our activities. But amidst all these activities, do we get even a single moment of solitude? Or when we get a little free time alone, do we think that we are lonely? This ability we have to first chalk out. We have to see how this is done. Now look at people who have achieved great things. You will find that all great things have been achieved because they worked in solitude. They worked quietly. They fulfilled their responsibilities without dispersing their energies. They did not destroy their mental energy. Instead, they collected it in one point and they brought out great achievements. Look at the great scientific discoveries. If you look at any scientific discovery, you will find that many years of hard work goes into this discovery. The scientist might be living absolutely without company. Even the family members might not be able to see much of the scientist because the scientist is doing sadhana in solitude. You know, this is sadhana because he or she wants to discover some great thing, something which will help humanity. And therefore, what is required for any useful thing is solitude. Suppose you are a student and you want to study, then you have to sit in a quiet place. You cannot sit in the marketplace where there is so much activity going on and still have preparation, exam preparation, proper exam preparation in that place. It is not possible. You require some peace and quiet. What you require is solitude. So if you want to do your project, if you want to do your homework, if you want to learn from your exam, you require solitude. This is the best use of solitude. Now we are all staying at home and we are doing online classes. Now, can you do your online class when there are distractions? You are not meeting anybody. You are sitting in one room and listening to your teacher. You have to have solitude. That is, you have to keep your mind away from all distractions. Outside your window, there might be a big sound, but you cannot allow that to come to you. Your mind is in that boundary which we call solitude. So we have to seek solitude. We have to find solitude. At the end of a tired working day, if we can find 10 minutes for ourselves, those 10 minutes we can devote to our own improvement. We can devote to our own betterment, because if we stop developing, if we stop improving, then we are no longer human beings. You know, once a table is made, table is ready, it doesn't improve. It remains the same. It is inanimate. Once the hardware of your computer is made, it is steady. We can load more and more software into it, but we cannot load any hardware because the hardware is already present. This is how we have to think, that if we do not constantly upgrade ourselves, if we do not improve ourselves, then we are not human at all. Swamiji has called the channel Human Excellence. Swami Srikanthanandaji was for a long time director of the Hyderabad Human Excellence Center also. So he knows that unless we strive for human excellence, we cannot progress. Life is not just living from day to day. If we are just progressing from one day to the next, that is no life at all. It is an inanimate life. But to be really human, we need to progress in such a way that from day to day we improve. We must check up. Yesterday, what kind of a person was I? What qualities did I have as a human being? Today, what kind of qualities do I have? Are they better from yesterday to today? Is it any better? Now, tomorrow, what is my aim? How much more can I improve? This kind of a pattern can only be made in solitude. You ask a great artist, the artist sits to paint. If 10 people drop in, the artist will never finish that painting. Even the model who sits for an artist is not allowed to move also. The model has to be completely steady, unmoving. Then the artist paints. You see the puja, arrangements made for puja in a temple. Absolute stillness, total solitude. If the mind of the person who's making the arrangement is dispersed, it goes elsewhere, then the arrangements will be flawed. They will be not good enough. So the person has to concentrate fully. Somebody calls that person, hey, you, distraction, solitude gone. So unless we have solitude, the strength of solitude is very important. Swami Vivekananda has said, that we have to quietly meditate. He says that go inward quietly, meditate quietly in solitude and become a dynamo of spirituality. A dynamo, full of energy. It can give so much energy to everyone and everything. So, in order to become a dynamo of spirituality, what should you do? You should have solitude. For any achievement, spiritual achievement is wonderful, but even our secular achievements, even our achievements of our job, suppose you're given to do some assignment, you have to make a presentation. You can't sit with 10 people and prepare that presentation. You require solitude to make a good presentation. The planning you have to do, the preparation you have to do, all this comes to you only when you have solitude. Unless you have solitude, you cannot, certainly, you cannot take up any job worthwhile. So I hope that self-improvement is a goal for all of us worthwhile. Although I'm speaking to you about self-improvement, it doesn't mean that I have to not practice them. I too have to practice. Every day we live is a day towards self-improvement. Unless we improve a little every day, we cannot become better. We cannot progress in life. We cannot say that our life is meaningful. Therefore, solitude is required. Now, how are we going to get it? One is that we have to have great strength of mind. Otherwise, solitude looks like loneliness. I gave you the idea that, loneliness is when we are feeling uncomfortable being alone. Solitude is where we are feeling supremely comfortable, extremely peaceful when we are alone. So this aloneness, how shall we get it? We have to get it by a lot of strength of mind, that we choose to be alone. Second is, we should not be alone and waste that opportunity. We should make the best of this opportunity when we are alone. Solitude is full of possibilities. Unless we make use of solitude, that solitude becomes loneliness. Unless we are making some exciting use of being alone, why are we wasting our time being alone? We can be with everybody else also. But then we start hankering by saying, I hate to be alone. There are many people who love being alone. For them, it is much easier. There are many people who hate being alone. There, for them, it is very difficult. But solitude does not mean being an introvert, that, you absorb all your things inside, you become, it becomes a wound inside, it festers inside. That it should never become. In case your being alone, your being away from others is creating mental health problems, that means you are not in solitude. That means you are suffering in being alone. This is not correct at all. So we have to first understand that what is it that, what is the parameter for solitude and what is the parameter for loneliness. Unless we know this, we cannot progress. Now, when we have solitude, we should be in a jovial, good, calm, and peaceful mood. If we are restless when we are alone, if we are uncomfortable when we are alone, if we are worried or anxious when we are alone, that means that is not solitude. That means that is a very bad kind of loneliness. Your mind is not in itself. Real solitude is where we have 100% of the mind with ourselves. That is why I gave you the term me time. Me time is a very important word to remember for solitude. Look at people who meditate regularly. Look at people who do spiritual practices regularly. Not puja, because puja, sometimes we are not in solitude at all. All kinds of thoughts trouble our mind. Kabir Doha, one beautiful doha is there of Kabir Das. He says that you are turning the beads in your fingers and in your mind you are turning all the bad things you're going to do throughout the day. So that japa is of no use where your mind is not concentrating, where your mind is going elsewhere. So real solitude comes when we practice total inwardness. This term inwardness, many people are using today. You withdraw from everything and you go within. Why am I talking about this as the last part of self-improvement? Because unless we go within, how can we know whether we are improving ourselves or not? Our self is not the mask which we wear and go around everywhere. Not the COVID mask, but the mask, the veil which we have, which is called politeness, decency, etc. Sometimes the mind is thinking different, the actions are different, the expressions on the face are different. So we have conflict. This is terrible. So in solitude alone, we can make out who we are, what we require. I gave so many ideas about self-improvement. Everybody doesn't need everything. Some of them you already have, so you have to just strengthen them. Others you might have or you might not have. Then you have to choose. How will you know whether you have them or you don't have them? You have to choose by analyzing. Self-analysis I gave right in the beginning, because unless we know how to give ourselves some marks, to evaluate ourselves, to say right or to say wrong, Unless we can do this, we are not able to improve. How can we do it when others are there around us? How can we do it when there is so many activities waiting for us? There is Facebook, there is WhatsApp, there is Twitter, there is YouTube, so many distractions. So we cannot do that. Solitude is what we require. For any kind of improvement, we need solitude. So, what exactly is solitude? Unless we practice, we can never understand. I can go on explaining solitude, but neither I nor you will know what it is unless we experience it. Everybody says sugar is sweet. Nobody knows unless they have tasted sugar. The word sweet does not tell us what is sugar. Similarly, solitude. If we are alone and we are making the best use of being alone, we are being very productive, we are doing a lot of self-improvement, then we have understood the meaning of solitude. We have used the meaning of solitude properly. Unless we do this, unless we are properly using solitude, no self-improvement can ever come to us. We might listen to the videos, we might listen to ideas, we might look at models. There are hundreds of models for us on which we can emulate self-improvement for ourselves. We take the model and we say, okay, I want to become like that person, or I want to become like this. And then we start following. But we don't follow because we have only listened. Listening is one skill. Practicing it, doing it actually is another different skill. So unless we sit down quietly and unless we enjoy being with ourselves, unless we are comfortable with ourselves, we can never enjoy solitude. We can never realize what is solitude. Then we become lonely. Oh, today I didn't meet my friend. Today I didn't talk to anybody. Oh, today I did not have any interaction with many people. This year I have not traveled and met new friends. Like that, we create for us a whole list of problems which show us how lonely we are. So you can see it is like, a small instrument. If you turn it this side, it shows you the negative side. You turn it this side, it shows you the positive side. It is like a coin, on one side of the coin, a different design. On the other side of the coin, there's a different design. Solitude on one side, loneliness on one side, the same thing. That is being alone. So let us learn to be alone, not always. Then it becomes a disease, If we always prefer to be alone, that is terrible. That is a real disease. But sometimes we require that aloneness. I remember Swami Ranganathananda ji, after giving lectures abroad in Europe, USA, and other places, he would return after a month or two. Then he would go to Haridwar, Kankal Ashram. And there he would keep total Maun Vrat for 1 month, total solitude. Then he would come back again, interact with everybody. So like that, take many examples and learn about solitude. Once you practice everything in solitude, it'll be wonderful. Maybe now we will end this series and begin another series when Swami Srikantananda ji again tells me to do it. Namaste, all the best, and may God bless all of you.